I'm Alfonso Vega.
And I'm Lindell Vega.
It's official. Welcome to the Love is the Cure Foundation. However, before we get into the foundation and the exciting work that we have been doing, we want to give some background on our story. Our son Inigo was diagnosed with cancer in September of 2021. Inigo was diagnosed with a high-risk metastatic medulloblastoma, which is a type of brain tumor. 20 months after he was diagnosed, he succumbed to brain cancer and he passed away at Boston Children's Hospital. That's just a tiny snippet of our story, but it is the entire reason for the Love is the Cure Foundation. It has been a year since Inigo passed away, and we feel that now is the right time to introduce all of you to the foundation project we have been working on. We have been developing plans for a foundation to help children like Inigo and parents like us who are dealing with a cancer diagnosis or the aftermath of the passing of their child. We want to outline some of the objectives that we have for the Love is the Cure Foundation.
Initially, we're launching a podcast. We feel we have the opportunity to fill a niche in the pediatric cancer community. When Inigo was diagnosed, we were provided with resources to call support groups to connect with, therapy options, and other families we could contact who had gone through similar experiences. However, these resources didn't work for us as a family for a few reasons. Inigo's diagnosis was particularly challenging, as most brain cancer diagnoses are, and he experienced severe medical complications. Given our circumstances, we didn't have the mental space, time, or energy to reach out for help. We were fully focused on Inigo's care and our own well-being for the first 4 months. Although these resources were likely beneficial, they didn't meet our specific needs. This is the reason for the Love is the Cure Foundation podcast.
We are motivated to initiate this project because we believe it will be a valuable resource for parents dealing with pediatric cancer. Our plan is to produce a video podcast series that covers a diverse range of topics related to pediatric cancer. We aim to provide practical information that parents can refer to at their convenience. Our objective is to empower parents by offering them insights that can support them through their unique journey with pediatric cancer. Lindy and I did not have the energy at the end of our days of caring for Inigo to then pick up the phone and reach out to somebody and communicate to them, to give them our emotions. It just didn't fit into what we needed. We believe it would have been very helpful to have a platform where we could simply listen to people discussing similar experiences. This would have allowed us to connect with others in a safe way without necessarily sharing our personal story. Podcasts will focus on conversations with caregivers, medical care teams, and adult survivors. We will also speak with other families who have gone through similar but unique situations. Some of our topics will also include the role of faith-based communities in providing support, general discussions about cancer, and what families may experience during their child's cancer journey.
Posterior fossa syndrome and bikes. We will be emphasizing awareness for posterior fossa syndrome, also known as cerebellar mutism, because we believe it is important and it needs to be talked about. After Inigo went through a tumor resection surgery, he developed posterior fossa syndrome. It is considered rare. 25% of children who go through a similar procedure will develop the syndrome. Something we share with others is this. Our society knows what a child with cancer looks like. We have all seen or are aware of what kids with cancer can present like as they go through treatment. The bald heads, the skinny bodies, etc. But we usually don't know what a child with cancer with the added effects of posterior fossa syndrome can exhibit like. Pediatric cancer is absolutely life-altering, catastrophic for child and family alike. It is extremely difficult in so many ways. Now couple that with the effects of posterior fossa syndrome, and you're dealing with a condition that changes your child far beyond the effects of cancer and cancer treatments. This is something that we want to discuss and highlight and bring awareness to. We believe and we think that your care teams will agree that the therapeutic experience for a child going through the effects of posterior fossa syndrome will need to be tailored specifically dependent on the effects of the syndrome. This is important because it may look very different from the therapy that other children will be experiencing. For Inigo, this tailored therapeutic journey was highlighted by his recumbent bike. Before Inigo was diagnosed, he was an avid cyclist. Knowing this and helping the rehab teams understand this, we moved forward with a plan to help Inigo gain some autonomy through riding a recumbent bike. It was very difficult for us to attain his recumbent bike. Inigo's case did not fall into the necessary stipulations for many of the charitable programs that are set up to help people with traumatic brain injuries or spinal cord injuries. Inigo's case was not considered either of those things. That meant that for most of the programs that we were trying to get assistance from, he simply did not have the medical history that they required. We were not going to be deterred, and thankfully, we believe by God's grace, we moved forward and did what we needed to do to acquire Inigo's super sweet Azub Tie Fly X. It is a very special bike tailored to him that allowed him to continue riding on some of the mountain bike trails that he used to ride before his diagnosis.
We realized that we were blessed to be able to acquire Inigo's bike. We know in some cases families aren't able to do the same. We want to be able to offer assistance to acquire a recumbent bike for children affected specifically by posterior fossa syndrome. We have plans to take part in some cycling events like the Pan Mass Challenge and other charity bike rides. We may even show up for the midnight ride that takes place prior to the Boston Marathon. We almost did that this year. We just weren't able to, but it was really, really exciting, just the prospect of it. We want to take part in these events so that we can raise awareness and bring donations for cancer research and children's hospitals. We plan on entering as the Love is the Cure Foundation team, or even possibly Inigo's posse.
Books. We are planning to write some books. Inigo had a passion for writing comic books and was constantly developing various storylines. Our intention is to honor his memory by bringing his unfinished comic book projects to fruition. It is our aspiration to preserve his dream by not only seeing his books published, but also by distributing them to children's hospitals where they can provide joy and entertainment to young readers facing difficult circumstances. We also have our own book in the works about our story. We will share more of that in time to come. We realize that we are not alone and there are many families that have gone through what we have gone through, and it seems like these experiences are increasing. Everyone's story, however, is unique. We want to share our perspective in writing, and hopefully someone will find that helpful.
These are just some of the plans that we have in place, and this is where we are asking all of you to join us in our efforts to help children and families that are going to go through some of the similar experiences that we have gone through. The Love is the Cure Foundation is a nonprofit charitable organization. We received so much help from our friends, our faith-based communities, and charities which gave through Boston Children's Hospital. But we came to realize that more help is needed. We made the choice when Inigo was diagnosed to be with him every second that we could because we didn't know how his story would end, and we refused to give up even a second with him. As the saying goes, time is a commodity that you cannot make more of. Your bills don't end because your child is diagnosed with cancer, and your resources do shrink. Statistics show that parents with children with cancer will have their career course altered forever, and some will ultimately lose their careers altogether. We want to add to the organizations trying to help our pediatric cancer families. We are truly excited to take on this meaningful opportunity. Recognizing the challenges we have faced, we empathize with the families in our community who are in need of additional support. As time goes on, we'll continue to learn more about how we can make a difference. Everyone needs different things, and people may need different things than what we needed. We are eager to share our unique insight with a movement that is dedicated to supporting others.
You can help support the work of the Love is the Cure Foundation in a myriad of ways. The most direct way you can support the foundation is through charitable giving. We will be selling Love is the Cure Foundation merch. We are excited to have a Love is the Cure launch design available. In the future, we are planning a pin of the month where you can buy our once a month enameled pin design, and we are writing kids' books, including illustrating and republishing Inigo's last book, The Hospital Book. Initially, we will be pouring our efforts into establishing our podcasts, having conversations about cancer, which you can share with others, specifically those who you feel would benefit from hearing our stories and conversations. All of these things will be done in an effort to help kids like Inigo and families like Alfonso and I, and extended families who have to deal with the aftermath of a pediatric cancer diagnosis. Your support of the foundation will help to further this work. We can't wait to see what benefits this may yield to those in need.
Here's something exciting that we are working on at the moment. We're working on putting together a program in partnership with Boston Children's Hospital in which the Love is the Cure Foundation, us, and maybe some volunteers will be going once a month to drive RC cars with kids at the hospital. Inigo loved his RC cars. We would go up on the roof at Children's Hospital on the days that he felt up to it, and we would drive under the sun, or on snowy days we would drive on the snow. It always brought him such joy, and we hope to extend that to others. Stay tuned, we will give you all an update on that. Please consider supporting the Love is the Cure Foundation. We are an organization dedicated to making a positive impact in people's lives. By following our journey and sharing it with others, you can help us spread awareness and build support for our cause. A section of a poem by Amanda Gorman reminds us of Inigo and how he lived out having cancer. There is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. We firmly believe that each of us has a unique purpose, and we are grateful for the opportunity to honor Inigo's memory and bravery by striving to make a meaningful difference in the world. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.